This is Newcap News with Michaela Henshaw.
Good evening. The Vermilion Valley Lodge is getting some much-needed upgrades to their facility, which provides housing and care for seniors in the community. This modernization is essential to keep up with Alberta's aging population.
In March of 2011, there were just over 400,000 seniors in Alberta. But as the last baby boomers reach 65, Alberta predicts to have over 900,000 seniors by 2031, something the Lodge is keeping in mind.
As we've had an architect look at building a building for us now, we asked them to also consider what our next additions might be. So we don't want to get to that point and go, oh, we should have.
The estimated cost for the upgrades are $14.1 million. The project is modernizing 50 rooms, so they are larger, and they will have 124 suites in total. Heller says these upgrades are essential.
Our initial part of our lodge was built in 1960, and as you can imagine, most things getting that age are small and old and very tired. The size of room that residents are having to live in, the oldest, smallest rooms we have, are basically an 8 by 10 space.
The project will also include upgraded bathing rooms, a larger commercial kitchen and dining room. The federal and provincial government have committed $10.2 million, and the rest will be realized through financing and fundraising.
Our community has given us $830,000 so far, so they are supporting us.
The facility will also be adding recreational activities, which is part of their goal to provide a sense of community while keeping in mind the next generation.
We're adding some extra social space, pool table, we're adding nice art. We're going to do a lot more with landscaping outside so they can enjoy being outside. So we have an idea of putting mini golf in here.
The first phase is on track to be completed by spring 2018. Phase 2 will begin immediately after and will be complete for winter 2018.
A local landlord is expressing his concerns to the city about who is liable for the water bill on a property. Presenting to council during this week's committee meeting, the resident proposed some changes made to the city's bylaws. Some of the changes requested include limiting the amount on a water bill a landlord is liable for, and if the bill is in the landlord's name, that they have the authority to request the water be discontinued or reconnected on the property.
Now knowing that it is an issue and having that presentation will allow us to deal with it. Not saying the outcome is going to be favorable one way or the other, but at least now we can bring it forward.
Council had previously heard from landlords when the water bylaws was originally drafted, and this new presentation raises some of their own concerns.
The biggest concern for me around that would be, what are the legalities around shutting someone's water off? Is it a basic human right to have that water running? So that's something we have to look into.
And we will have more information on this story as it develops.
This is Newcap Sports.
Well, exhibition play is in full swing all across the AJHL, and the Bonnyville Pontiacs made the first of what will be many trips to the Civic for the opener of a home against the Bobcats. Lance Phillips has more on another close game between the two teams.
19 Pontiacs rookies faced a team of Bobcats toting 4 returning players Friday, and what the young Bonnyville hopefuls did was impressive to say the least. They were every bit Lloydminster's equal, but a late overtime penalty was the difference in a 2-1 Bobcats win, the second in 3 nights. But wins and losses aren't of importance to Pontiac's coaches. Instead, the focus is solely on finding out exactly what they've got.
I think that our young guys did a real good service to themselves because they held their own against a good group of rookie players as well as veterans that the Lloydminster Bobcats have.
Yeah, I feel like it's very good for us to be playing that good against the veteran lineup for them without any of our veteran players in the lineup tonight, and we had a pretty good outing considering.
I thought we handled adversity pretty well. Had a couple big penalty kills, obviously one at the end that hurt us, but all in all, I think we played a pretty solid game on the side of the puck and on offense.
An area that may see the biggest growth is at the blue line, where potentially 5 spots are up for grabs, and Proctor may have helped his cause, scoring his first AJHL goal.
Yeah, it was a pretty special feeling to get my first one out here, and yeah, it's always nice to get the first one out of the way.
Yeah, it's no secret we got a young D-core, but we got one of the best defensive coaches in, I'd say, all of junior hockey, so he's great at working with young guys. We've only had so many practices so far this year, so we're only going to get better from here. We had a couple mistakes tonight, but those are things that are going to get fixed with more practices.
We got a long ways to go, there's no question, but we plan on going a long ways as the organization, and we know we got a good group tomorrow that are going to get another chance like these guys did here tonight. And as long as we continue to gain that positive information to help us make our decisions, we're going to be in a good spot.
Considering Lloydminster's top 2 scorers from 2016-2017 were on the ice for Friday's overtime winner, Swan and his staff stand by their decision to play rookies.
We're not real in a hurry to match veterans against veterans because we need to see whether or not that our young guys can play at this level. And if they can't, it's to their benefit because we've got to put them in a situation where they can grow and develop. And if that means moving them back down to midget, that's what we're going to do. But if we feel that they can play at this level, we're not going to know that until we play Lloyd tomorrow night in North Battleford back-to-back.
2 games into exhibition play, it's clear that some Pontiac hopefuls are separating themselves from the pack. And it's a trend that Swan and his coaching staff hope to see continue to make the daunting task of cutting 15 players seem a little bit easier. Lance Phillips, Newcap Sports, Lloydminster.